Welcome back to my channel. So I've been a very busy beaver, but oh, and I still need, I'm trying to finish decorating this house, and I still need to put in another, because I stole the lectern here so that I could do all of the book boys downstairs. Oh, no, 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 no. Well, I mean, that torch actually didn't need to be there anymore. Ah, why? Why you do this? There we go. So the outside is now looking a little nicer with the big tree and the little tree. And then I put some seating in here, which reminds me I wanted to put in painting, and they are ginormous. And oh yes, that's right. I need the planks to help me get a painting that is not covering the door. I need a tripwire hook in to have a bathroom. I probably should put in a sink here. All right, mental note. Sink there, lectern there. What else do I need in here? I mean, it's not like I am not the best interior decorator, but with practice, I'm really liking these trees with the little dead bush at the bottom and then just the leaves on top. Um, it kind of makes it look a little more tree bush-like. Oh, yes. Did I bring them with me? I did. Then I'm going to make the drawers for the children. No, I don't want to set my spawn, but thank you for caring, I guess. And then I decorated their little learning room a little bit, right, with their desk chairs, right? So just a little more decoration, and the roof is on, so they don't have that. And of course they have their garden. Now, now every time I make one of these guys shows up in the garden area. So they have the garden guard. Isn't that nice for them? What have I been doing? Let's see. A lot. All right, let's start out here. Lots of terraforming and lots of figuring out where the next houses are going to be built so that it looks, like it's supposed to. Not that I am ecstatic to have more villagers, but I definitely want to build out these houses. So I leveled everything. I'm still not quite sure what I'm going to do with this area. I think I'm going to leave this area as is, but then just like the other side over there, I'm going to maybe put a stairway down to make it look sort of uniform. I'm still trying to figure that part out, but I did want to map at least the next few houses. They're kind of different sizes and different configurations, so it doesn't look so grid-like. From everything that I read, it sounds like we believe they just put houses down where they were, and when they had the materials, they just plopped the house down so that there'd be family. And then I was thinking about, okay, now that I'm backed up against the little mountain here, then I'm probably going to leave most of this mountain the way it is and then decorate the mine shaft. I haven't forgot that. And then over here we'll have a staircase going down. Even though we have that one, we'll have another one going down, and then we're going to level probably all of this. I still haven't done anything with the farm, but that's probably the next episode. I'll probably get to that. That way the villagers can start replenishing their ranks and whatnot. And we'll need is a very strong word. But if there are going to be beds and there are going to be doors, then we'll probably end up with villagers. So, but that is not all. But wait, there's more. Okay, so we've seen all of this. However, because we've done some landscaping up there, I made some changes up here. So like I said, I really liked this kind of uh, balcony kind of look. So I mirrored it on this side to some degree. Moved the um, nether tree mushroom spawner over here. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then because I do need lots of sugarcane for rockets and paper, I made the farm bigger, but with a different um, farm type. So now I'm using mud, and I'll link to Jwhisp's video that I followed. It was really easy. The hardest part about this is either getting the mud, so finding a biome that has mud, or making the mud yourself. And then obviously the observers take um, nether crystal. So nether, nether crystal. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. Oh well, I'm gonna leave it alone. Um, and so but it works really well. The longest part is just waiting for it to actually grow tall enough. And ironically, um, for whatever reason, every time I watch it, it tends to like all grow to the second level before any of them even attempt to grow to the third. It's pretty interesting. But let's go see what the output looks like. And I don't want to spoil anything just yet. So here's the output, which isn't bad. That's maybe a couple of hours, just not, you know, pausing the game, not pausing. So I'm happy with that. This definitely produces more than the old sugarcane farm. And then because I've now terraformed the top, we'll get to this in a second. I'm now going to expand the bottom. So this is the start of the expansion. I was trying to find where to. Oh, do I have any? I do. This looks a little dark down here. Trying to find where the edge is. Literally, if I dig 2 more blocks this way, I will be looking at my sheep pretty much. So this is definitely the edge that we're going to go that way. And then there is this. So this is supposed to be my creeper farm. And I'll put in the link in the description. Oh, thank you, Enderman. There's been Endermen down here, and so they've been helping. Yes, helping. So originally, the video that I came across, right? Like originally, it said, okay, you're gonna put these carpets down, and then it told me to put a layer of trapdoors, and I had no idea why, and it didn't. It had the trapdoors. It has the trapdoors listed in optional in the sort of what you need to build this. So I was like, well, if it's optional, I'm not going to put it in. I was like, okay, we'll see how it runs. Initially, didn't run so well. Um, that is where this little hole comes in over here. I was hearing noises underneath my base and found that, lo and behold, there was a huge ravine down here, and I was like, oh well, that will affect my creeper farm for sure. And so I did a lot of lighting up and making this spawn proof, and trying to make sure that I actually got spawns. And so once I did all of that, I could start to hear things spawn. And I was like, oh, good, 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 good. I'm gonna start getting lots of um, lots of gunpowder, right? And so I'll be able to use rockets. Not really. So yes, I am getting gunpowder, but as you can see, I'm also getting a hodgepodge of other things. This was during testing, and so I wanted to see what the differences was after I made the change. So what I did decide to do is I decided, let me just borrow this sand really quickly. I decided that maybe, just maybe, the trapdoors were not so optional after all. And so I think what's happening is this side is now producing, it should be producing just creepers, maybe a spider here and there, because I read in the comments that the carpets aren't exactly um, placed where spiders won't spawn. But, spiders are the least. Oh, look, there's a bat in there. Spiders are the least of my concern. So if there's a spider or two in there, whatever. I know it affects the spawn rates of everything else, but it's fine. But what I'm thinking, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking that the trapdoors are actually sort of a height limit because the creeper head doesn't go completely in and take up a full block, but the zombie head and the spider head, or the, sorry, not spider, but skeleton head, actually do take a full block. And so the trapdoors then limit everything else spawning in here except for creepers. So this side has the trapdoors. This side still doesn't, because what I was thinking is that I still probably am going to need slash want quite a bit of bone meal, right? And it is overall producing far a good amount of bone meal or bones to gunpowder, and so I'm okay with this ratio right now. Um, but happily, it is producing gunpowder, so I should have rockets soon. Nothing has changed. The only thing that's changed in here, I shouldn't say nothing has changed in here because you're going to be like, well, there's a staircase now. But I also went in and changed out the lights. I still have a couple of glow lights in here, glowstone lights, but for the most part, I wanted to keep it sort of all the same. So I did change out most of the glowstone for the shroom lights. And then I decided that most of the time when I want to go, because these were all close to be broken, so I had to go to I went to the Enderman farm, even though it's a little farther than the spider farm, because it mends things so much faster. But I decided that instead of when I'm down here and I want to go to the nether and or the end, right? Instead of having to go out all around to the door, I would just bite the bullet and make a staircase. So now I have an easy way to get to from down here to there. So we'll see. I may tweak this a little bit more. We'll see. But I do think I have things pretty well lit up now as I see a dark spot over in my hole. So that it does function decently well. And I have actually, let's sleep for this. Villager, I don't know how you got down here. I really don't want you down here. You might die. Just giving you a heads up that may be coming. Um, but yeah, so I did. Thought I saw something in the air. Like I slept. Go away. Um, but that's not all. Okay, so I did all of that, right? But that's not all. I started. Oh, dang it, Enderman. I started work. And you're going to go, what did you do? It doesn't look any different. So, what I will be doing is um, probably every episode, maybe every other episode. We'll see. I do have to be. Look at all those Endermen out there. I do have to kind of be in the mood for it, but it is kind of relaxing. I started to take down the mountain. And in a minute, what you're going to see is you're going to see a before. So you'll see like a 10-second, this is what the landscape looked before. And then so you can compare, how well I'm making progress. Because definitely when I looked, which I was really glad I took the before shots, I looked, and I was like, oh, oh yeah, I guess it did kind of have like a point to it, maybe. Like it doesn't look horribly different at the moment. But I did do some other things, and we'll get to the other things that I've been doing over there. But I did also work on the bridge. Now, originally, what I had tried to do was think about the bridge in terms of a bridge that there's a bridge in Iran that actually was built, they think, around 280, somewhere in that time frame, that still stands for the most part. There's part of the bridge that they've rebuilt because it got knocked out. And I was trying to sort of emulate that until I realized in a creative world that doesn't look pretty. you know, it just doesn't look pretty. And so I decided, until I can make it look like I put some effort into it and look something like the bridges, the real world example bridge, I just continue on. And so I sort of I decided originally I was thinking, okay, I'd have one pillar there, one pillar there, one pillar there, and then it would come down. And then I realized symmetry is my friend. And so now this side perfectly mirrors, whoop, 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 shaky camera, perfectly mirrors that side. And then there's now evenly spaced arches. And then in between the arches, we have like some stairs and some slabs and a little bit of texture from the slabs looking slightly different. And yes, the color palette, just like everything else I'm sort of doing, it's sort of a muted palette. It's not like there's pops of color, but I think that for my first sort of artistic bridge, let's call it that, and not just a flat bridge, across the water, I'm actually pretty pleased with it. Can I get better? Yes, I can. But the icing on the cake is my kid is really into they're 6 and they're really into Minecraft, and so they came over and they're like, I like that bridge, and I was like, well, the 6-year-old approves of it, and I don't. I'm pretty pleased with it. I guess it's not too bad of a bridge, especially since they watch a lot of Minecraft videos. But so took down some of that mountain, and then I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the video, but then I basically took everything that I took down from that mountain and started to fill in all of the holes and the gaps. And this area was quite uh, craggy, I guess is the good best way to say it. And so I was trying to fill in that and then also trying to think, okay, that side of the water, where does the housing start? Like, do I want to be flat or do I want to mimic the side? And I think I'm going to at first maybe try to mimic the side over here. Um, that would mean that all of this would have to come up. I think it's like 5 or 6 blocks from where it is now, which is a project. But I figure that will then help me not have a massive amounts of extra sand and sandstone because I'll just terraform the ground. And the other part of that is, like I'm starting to do on that side, before I build a building, I'm building the floor, right? So that if I want to build under, I have under. And I was originally thinking for the creeper farm, because this I think is all going to be pushed up. But there's a nice big area over here that I'm thinking about leaving to start like an underground base. Um, it's a decent amount down, but it doesn't go all the way down. So like if I didn't want to be this far down, I could just fill this in. Um, but it would be a nice start to an underground base or underground things. So I did start to That's very dark. Let's fix that. Um, Fill all of this in. So this is all natural terrain, and then this was natural terrain, and then I just started filling this was all craggy back here, using the sand and filling it all in. So this will probably, like this area here, will probably get all filled in. That way, hello, they're way out. Thank you. Um, that way, like I have some space, but not like too much. And then what I'm also thinking about doing as I'm filling in spots is I filled in some of the water holes over here. This probably will get filled in because there's really no point to having this water here. Thankfully, I have lots of sand, because lots of sand. And then I'm trying to figure out, like as you can see, I put some sandstone down. I'm trying to figure out what the edges of the water is going to look like. I don't know if I'm going to keep this or not, but I'm already starting to think that way. And then the other thing that I was doing is I was thinking, okay, well, if that's going to be the ground, right? That level's up there is the ground. Where do I have to stop digging out this mountain? And that would put the ground, whoopsie, sorry. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Derp a derp a derp. That would put this as the level. So I would want to get rid of like this sand, but I wouldn't need to go any further than this. And so we'll see. We'll see how much terraforming, because like, see, look, we have these massive things, and I have been just helping myself, right? Like where I can, because why? Why would I not want to help myself and not let nature just, or gravity just fill that in? The other thing that I was thinking is, so it's hotly, not only do they not know whether the Hanging Gardens was actually real, so let's start there, but the the theories then come to, if it is real, right? How did they get the water from the river to the tallest points of the um, structure, right? And there's a few ideas, but one, what I was thinking is it'd be really, really cool if I just left this sort of inlet here, and then this becomes part of the base somehow of, like, I don't know if I'll have to pull the water in further or if this will actually be the edge of the structure. Um, but like this is partly how they got the water into the structure, right? Um, there's a couple of theories. One of them is that they had like a pulley system in the middle that pulled the water up and then did waterfalls over the side to then keep all the plants happy. Hi, I would like to sleep. Sleep, sleep, sleep. Please, please, please sleep. Um, and then there was another, I forget what the other idea was, but that, I think they were thinking the pulley system, the sort of just buckets kind of up, was probably the most likely. And then I picked a good place. Then I have this area, and I don't know what I'm going to do with this area. It's a lot of water, and it goes down and around, and um, this actually does go pretty much all the way, um, or I can manipulate it at the very least to go all the way out. So I'm also thinking maybe I'll hold on to this. I don't know. Oh, poor bunny. Um, but as you can see, it goes into like a massive underground area. Like, let's let's not worry about this down here. It's like, oh good Lord, my entire structure is built on stilts. I see them. Ooh, ooh. If this goes down, maybe I'll build my glow farm over here. Oh, that's a thought. I didn't realize they were over there. But knowing that they're over there, that I'm I might have to, well, I was about to say I might have to keep this area. Realistically, I am not getting rid of this area. I don't have enough sand in the world to get rid of it. So it's staying. It's just, do I build over it or do I um, do something really cool with it as a future? And we'll see. Uh, and then in the future, I'm still gonna have to figure out. I think it's gonna be a huge pain in the rear to take like all of this down and sort of level it out. But I keep looking at it and I'm like, if I have to, if the hanging gardens has to come out really far, this is either going to be in the way or it's going to be an eyesore. But then I'm like, ugh, it's sort of all connected. And so then if I take that down, I've got to kind of fix this as well. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'll get inspired and I'll think of something really cool, and then that'll just decide that section's fate, you know? Because sometimes that's how it all works is a thought comes into your head and you go, oh, that'd be really, really cool. And right about now would be a great time to have my elytra and to have my rockets. But what I wanted to kind of show you, because I don't know if I've shown you the whole part of this, so it looks like it's all connected, and it sort of is. Like there's a section over here that's connected to that little mountainous craggy bit. So you can kind of see there's sort of open water and then it kind of connects there. Hi, come on, let's go. You can move, you can do it. But then it just ends like right here, right? So it doesn't connect very much. So I could easily, if I decide, just break this apart so that it looks like that's one island and this is another, which then makes a little more sense for disconnecting that so that it doesn't look like it's connected. But then this part goes quite a bit of distance, right? Like, oh, big jumps, and not making it, and rabbits all jumping into blocks, which still don't make any sense to me what they're doing. But you know, they're happy, they're free, whatever. You can kind of start to see it as we get closer. There's all of these open holes and like I said, craggy bits. This entire thing is full of craggy bits, right? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Like all of that is craggy bits. But this then has more holes, but it comes around here. And so there's a decent amount of space to work with. The only problem is that it's sort of all over the place. Like leveling it out is going to be a project. But you know, if I didn't think it was going to be a project, I would have done this a long time ago, and I wouldn't have started recording to keep me motivated because there wouldn't be a need. My goodness. Well, that's gonna be either fun filling in or fun figuring out what to do with it. Because I bet you don't go, no, you just have a waterway in the middle of nowhere. Got it. I haven't come explore all of this. It looks like I have like a ravine in the middle of what I'm trying to transform. And then I kind of like this bit, this like sort of um, cliffy bit. So I might want to reinforce the cliffs a little bit, but leave those alone. And then I just have random grass over here. Random grass. It's a, I, part of me says I should have really explored the area before I, stated this was my location. This is where I was going to be. And then other parts of me are like, yeah, but if it was just sand, right? Like if it wasn't, there wasn't all of these things that need to be solved for, right? And it was just, hey, take down this sand trap. Um, I don't know that it'd be as interesting. It's a big black hole. Um, there's lots of puzzly bits to this and figuring out, okay, do we keep it? Do we get rid of it? Uh, or can we just fill it in and go, cool, it's now gone by default of I have filled it all in. Yeah, massively holy. That is a very good way to describe all of this. Well, I don't have to worry about where am I going to put all of the sand. At least the sand and the sandstone have been used up. Every time I like get a critical mass of either, I ended up using it all up, and then I'm like, oh, I've got no sand left. Well, that's interesting. Let me. There a sun? Can I sleep? No, I can't sleep. But I think that is it. Walk over my bridge. I might still add some decoration. Granted, bridges back in the day, that would have been a structural marvel, possibly. I don't know. Sometimes I agree with people that we don't give our ancestors enough credit for their ingenuity. Um, but I think that's going to be it for today. So, on my menu to next time, I want to get some of those buildings built. So, we're going to see some more buildings come up. I want to, um, even though I really love this building, I want to level that building, make this all farmland so that and mainly all wheat, um, so that if the villagers would like to start breeding, they can. They have plenty of food to do so, um, which will then start the terraforming of this area down here. And then I do need to make a wheat farm for the cows so that that cow farm that I have actually can be useful and I can not have to buy golden carrots from the villagers. Because, yes, the gods are angry. Um, I guess that's my cue that I need to leave. Yeah. There's anger in the air. So let's do this. I'm going to say goodbye, but let's sleep so that you can actually see it in the daytime. Like I said, I'm going to put up a video, and in the future, I'm not going to. Well, it'll just be at the end of the video. As long as I remember, it'll be at the end of the video. And so then you can see the before, and then you can see the after, and then you can see the progress, right? So, yes, Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you all very soon. Bye.